This constant friction is much worse for a child as opposed to just, okay, or one and done. You know, I feel like you're forcing them to be in an environment where they constantly have to see two people that they love most in the whole world fighting every single day. And I think nobody deserves that. And sometimes this separation decision, your parents just being strong and decisive about it, I feel like that's much more helpful for the child. I know it was much more helpful for me. I think from a personal space, I respect him so much. I want to be dressed appropriately at all times. That's what I meant in context to me alone. It's not like a general statement on why would he be going around doing all of this, saying all this to everybody anyway, you know. In fact, my mom forwards dating rumors to me and she's like, oh, which one is this now? But since none of them are true, neither of us pay heed to it. And we're both just like, chalo, there are more important things in life. But yeah, she does get concerned sometimes about the fact that, you know, more is being spoken about my personal life than my work. I wouldn't say that I've gone through anything bad because I feel like my life was a lot easier because my mom's was tougher. You know, I think she cushioned my brother and I so well from all the negativity around us. She's always protected us and kept us within this shield. Everything that we've gone through together, I think has just only fortified and emboldened me to really take on the world and take on any negativity that might come my way because I know I've seen worse.
Hello everyone, I'm Rudrani and welcome to Speak Easy. My guest today is super cool. She has entered the industry with so much confidence and so much love has already been given to her. Yes, she's someone who has probably seen the industry slightly closer. But there's so much more to her. I'm talking about, of course, the very talented Palak Tiwari. Hello.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Of course, I'm so excited that we've been doing this. We've been planning to do this for a while. Palak, like I said, right, like you, of course, you will be considered a star kid, right? Because Shweta has been one of the leading TV actors and she's had a very flourishing career. But there has been so much more to you because you, unlike the other, like probably the filmy crowd, the filmy star kids, you have not been exposed to that kind of friends or an environment. And you, I think, have worked on building your own individuality from a very young age.
Yeah.
I would like you to sort of highlight that and tell me your point of view.
You know, I've always said that I'm in some sort of like a brand new circle or a brand new category, so to speak. I feel like I don't exactly fit in with the star kids, but I definitely do not fit in with the commoners also. You know, I have like this little category of my own that I'm sort of like trying to figure out. And as much as I completely acknowledge my privilege, which is, you know, being known as my mother's daughter, but I think I didn't really have the roles being offered to me or all of that because of my mom's success. What about my mom's success did help or what really did water down to me was the love that people have for her. I think that it's so often that I meet even journalists or just people from the industry that meet me and they probably meet me a lot nicer than they would meet like a complete stranger because they're like, oh, you're Shweta's daughter, we love Shweta so much. So I think my mom, she earned so much love and respect throughout her career, and I think people sort of like shower me with that love also sometimes just because of the association. But other than that, I feel like I'm in a bracket of my own and I'm trying to still like I'm figuring out how to still navigate it.
People who don't know you, who eventually come to know you, what do you think are the misconceptions kind of that they have about you? And you know, when they meet you, they're like, oh, so that's not how it works.
I feel like people consider it to be just very easy in general with everybody, right? But also with me, I think people think that I am like a little snooty or like whatnot, because I think people have told me that I have a resting bitch face, which you can't really do much about. But I would like to believe that I'm not. I mean, I never have felt like I'm bitchy. I just, whenever somebody approaches me, they realize that I'm really not. And I think that is one misconception that people have about me. Another one is that, like I said, that I just have everything easy and I just don't have to work for anything. I think everybody, and not just me, or I'm making a general statement about everybody in this industry. I think everybody is much more hardworking than people give them credit for. So I think yeah, that also for sure.
Shweta is a fabulous person, and you know the way she's built her life the way she's fought through things, I think is such an admirable journey.
True.
Tell me about that, because I don't think you had an easy journey. I think it's so inspiring to know that, you've been through your own traumas and you have healed, and here you are, doing your own thing.
I feel like I wouldn't say that I've gone through anything bad, because I feel like my life was a lot easier because my mom's was tougher. I think she cushioned my brother and I so well from all the negativity around us. She's always protected us and kept us within this shield. And because of that, I feel like I've had a very protected childhood. And everything that we've gone through together, I think has just only fortified and emboldened me to really take on the world and take on any negativity that might come my way, because I know I've seen worse. So I think, I think it's just strengthened my character a lot more. And I don't really take it as a negative thing. I think itna struggle to everybody needs in life to just build character.
While people who don't know would also know that, your mom, when it comes to the career, really had to fight through there as well. She was the leading lady, but then she had to do so much more to survive, right? Because that was not enough, right? And then you have to move on, the next project doesn't come. Tell me what you have learned from all the struggles that you have seen, and what advice did she give you when you decided to take this plunge? And of course, like you all know, we have her debut in Kisi Ki Bhai, Kisi Ki Jaan.
I will say that I think God has been very kind. My mom never really had to struggle for work. But I think after Kasauti, because there were so many facets to her character in Kasauti itself, that she sort of was like, now what can I do that can really still entertain me? Because she really requires that stimulus. She really wants to be always surprised by her character. She wants always a new challenge. So I think after Kasauti, to find a character that really gave her that little kick was very tough for her to find. And she's always been very picky. Now she can afford to be. She's built this very prolific career for herself. But she's always told me that this is, the one industry where you need to prove your worth over and over and over and over. Nobody's going to be like, oh, she was good in that show, and then, believe that one sentence for the rest of their lives. You will have to keep proving that statement over and over. Otherwise, nobody's going to love you or respect you. The term one-hit wonder exists only in this industry, which is so scary. So, but she's always told me to not take myself too seriously and not take what others say more seriously, and that this is an industry with I think probably the world's most ups and downs. And if you're enjoying your highs, then you better be ready for the lows also.
We look at you, you are this person who's confident, you're this person, but I am sure you've been through your share of bullying and shaming to reach here. Because I think all of us do have that journey, and I feel like overcoming that is what I think proves to be like a true inspiration.
I feel like I'm still in that phase. People still haven't really accepted me yet. Which is fine, because I know people are gonna instantly love you sometimes. Sometimes you need to prove your worth, and I'm very willing and I'm very ready to prove my worth and earn that love from people. But I'm still going through that phase where people like, oh, I don't like what she's wearing, I don't like how thin she is, I don't like this or that or this or that. People have a billion things to say, and like 99% of the times there are things that I can't even change about myself. And but my mom, again, another thing that she's told me is that when you're doing well, people love everything about you. So I'm okay with the criticism, because I know the day that I start doing well and the day that I really earn their love and respect, they're going to start liking everything about me.
It's one way to look at it, right?
Yeah.
What have you learned in this process of what you were trying to get the right role, right? Like where to debut is so important.
Yeah.
I want to know how that moment happened for you, and why did you decide ultimately? Because, if you wanted, you could have done anything else. You could have chosen to wait till you get like only where you are the focus. But I feel like it also shows the sense of security that you know what you're doing when you chose a film like Kisi Ki Bhai, Kisi Ki Jaan.
I feel like people make it very preordained and very calculated and all that. At the end of the day, it's just a career that we all love. I can't sit here doing maths, my first film should be, I've never approached it like that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have made a debut with a music video. I have just never, that has never been my approach. My approach has been just do whatever feels right. Just do whatever you feel like is going to be fun. and that's what I've been doing. And I've always wanted to make my own, pave my own way and just have my own way with things. Like I said, I as such feel like I don't fit in a particular box. So I feel like whatever I do is my way now. So I saw a film that a narration of which was extremely entertaining to hear, and I was really rolling on the floor laughing while hearing the script of this film, and it's truly so hilarious. And I just knew that I wanted to do this film, and after this I have pictures lined up where, like you said, I am the sole focus. But also I feel like I love doing films, so why am I not doing them? I'm just like, I don't put that much brain into it. I think this is a career for which I feel only from my heart, and I only make my decisions from my heart.
I also want to know as to when was that final audition? What happened? How were you feeling? And when you sat with Salman, because now when I see the BTS, I feel like you're this kid of the group where everyone's really, and also like fun, everyone's relating to what you're saying and laughing, because I told you I saw the BTS. But I know that reaching this comfort level is also a journey with everybody, and of course that meeting with Salman.
I feel like my audition I think was the longest, because it went on for a year, which is when I did with him in Antim. Okay. I think he's the kind of guy, he'll never really audition you because he's always observing. For him, it won't be probably like your acting capacity. He'll be like, acting to main sikha dunga, or such mein. He's a very good teacher. But I think it's your core values. He'll observe you and he'll see how hardworking you are, how passionate you are, how dedicated you are, and how good a heart you are. And I think those are the things that you'll find in every single person that he's ever cast or he's ever launched. Those are the key attributes to him. Because those are the things that are the biggest in his personality. All things good. So I think when it came to casting me, casting Raghav, casting Jassi, Shehnaz, Vinali, Siddharth, I think these are the things that he's noticed about all of us for a very long time. And he was like, okay, yeah, they're good people. They'll make for a good, nice environment on set. They will be able to, make a conducive environment for a film that's truly all about love and family. And I think he did just that. I think I'm in a perennial state of intimidation with him. I don't think, I'm telling you, if you get to know him personally, the intimidation never goes away. Because it's like, first, respecting him as a star and as a talent, as like one of the biggest stars of the country is one thing. But the way I respect him is like a man that could do no wrong. That's where it comes from in my eyes. In my eyes, it's that, oh my God, he's so nice, he's so perfect. He should think like well of me. It's that, which is why like sometimes I'll be doing some masti or whatever, and he'll come around and like, oh, I wasn't doing anything. But like it's just, I've never experienced this before in my life, that you respect somebody so much that your body freezes in their presence. And that's exactly, I'm telling you, you see my interviews with Salman sir, my personality takes a 180 flip. I'm just like, okay, yeah, this, that, I don't have as much, I've become catatonic. But I mean, it's just the kind of effect that he has on people, And I was very intimidated during Antim, but I was much more so intimidated during this one because we had to share the same screen this time.
Was it difficult?
For sure. Because, he'd be like, sometimes he'd be like, oh, how about you take this line that way? Oh, how about you like add this line? I'd be like, okay, oh yeah, sure. And I'd be too scared to ask questions, so I would just like keep my fingers crossed, hopefully yahi tha, and then he'd see the scene and be like, and you'd be like, okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
You spoke about how, like, because as an AD you're running about, you're wearing certain things, and you're wearing certain clothes, and he says that cover it up, I'm not there around, so I hope you're safe. I think that was the context which you said that in, right?
Yeah, I think much more so than that. I think from a personal space I respect him so much. I want to be dressed appropriately at all times. That's what I meant in context to me alone. It's not like a general statement on why would he be going around doing all of this, saying this to everybody anyway,
He wanted to also feel protective about you, right?
It's much more so, about
like
me.
Shweta's daughter.
Much more so about me in a professional space, and I think that's all that there is to it.
if he sees you're upset, he will come up to you and
Yeah,
talk to you. Is
yeah.
that how it is? Have I got it pretty much?
Yeah, he's 100% like that. He doesn't, I feel like he doesn't, when people are getting overly emotional, he's a little like, hey, don't be like melodramatic, don't do that. He wants everybody to be tough. But also if he sees somebody like truly like struggling or just getting all upset, he'll like, oh, beta, what happened? He'll be the first to like pat your back.